times he had to deal with in order to get where he is today. And he just received a government scholarship in order to go study in England. So I'm like trying to be his mentor now, to mentor him, being that we all both came out the same area. I remember in primary school having to carry my books to school in a plastic bag because my mother could not afford a book bag, Mackenzie recalled. This earned him relentless teasing and name-calling from his classmate, he says. I will cry myself to sleep almost every night because I didn't have the things other children has. Despite this, the youngster rarely missed a day of school and went on to earn a spot at the prestigious Fatima College in Port of Spain. That's like, going to Fatima College is like going to Newark Academy, as an example.
Okay.
Right? So, seeing his mother struggle to take care of him and his sibling, Mackenzie said he decided to, at an early age, to make something of himself so that her efforts will not be in vain. I made up my mind that I was going to be somebody. I wouldn't be another Laventil statistics, he declares. Working diligently throughout the 7 years of secondary school, Marvin earned 6 distinctions in Caribbean secondary education certificate. I mean, that's the highest you can get. 6 distinctions.
So this is what we find in your former community, right? Is that a common thing to see?
Let me see that.
Oh my God, Anselm.
No. That's not in my community. That's in the country part of it. We don't find that. But there is a place called
This is we're looking at gigantic.
There's a place called
gigantic snake.
There's a place called Snake Valley where you wake up in the morning, you see a lot of dead snakes. And that's why it's called Snake Valley. But anyway, let's continue with this. So he had earned 6 distinctions in the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate Examination, another 5 distinctions and 3 ones in the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Exam, better known as CAPE. Now he's enrolled at the University of the West Indies studying economics and statistics, and he's the first in his family to pursue tertiary education. Mackenzie acknowledged the St. Jude Chapel, the Morven Laventil Roman Catholic Church, and the Success Laventil Church, who, he says, assisted with purchasing school books, uniform, and providing transport through his days at Fatima. He also acknowledges the effort of several teachers at the college, who, he says, not only taught him the school syllabus, but taught him life lessons as well. Amongst those teachers were Miss B.J. Thompson, who, he says, went above and beyond the call of duty to mentor him, even purchasing a laptop for him he could not afford one. Miss Thompson taught the youngster economics for 4 years and remembers Mackenzie as a focused, goal-oriented pupil. He knew what he wanted and he worked very hard to achieve that, he says. He never complained. He never acted like a deprived child. Thompson has high hopes for Mackenzie's future, saying that she knows he will be a great success. He has a lot going for him, she says. He's very positive and very hardworking, and he will be a success in whatever he does.
So where is he going? To school in London?
Yeah, he's got a government scholarship. He's currently going to University of West Indies in Trinidad.
But when's he going to London?
I think he's going to go next year.
Oh, man.
Right? And it's a full scholarship. The government pays for everything. So this is his way out of, the community that he is into there. So let's just finish this real quick. I know I have a long road ahead of me, Mackenzie says, but I want to set an example for my younger brother and sister. I want to show them they don't have to be a victim of their surroundings. Too many people use from being Laventil as a crutch or an excuse to remain in poverty, when they should be using it as a motivation to get out of poverty. And he's absolutely right. That is exactly my modus operandi when I lived in Trumaka, Laventil. I said, every day I used to say to myself, with my barefoot, no sneakers, not even the slippers. I'm sure you had like 5 pairs of slippers, Marge. I'm just kidding with you. I don't know. You guys just see your face. You just see your face like serious. How do you know I had 5 pairs of slippers? I know.
No, what do you mean? Like house shoes? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, house shoes.
No, I like not having shoes on. My mother would tell
me.
But
how many house shoes you had?
Who's counting? I don't think about stuff like that, Anselm. Who thinks about that?
Are you serious?
I mean, when you don't have some, you think about it. But when you have them, you don't think about that.
Oh, you don't think about not having it?
No.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
See, I mean, this is like it's like some things are just like natural. There's no need to brag about or talk about. That's nothing to talk about.
Okay.
You talk about when times were lean, yes? You know, my daughter will say, Mom, I remember a time we didn't have any money and you sent me to school and all I had was a pickle and an English muffin. I don't remember that. Now, too bad for you, little girl, but, you know.
She had a pickle and an English
She had a English muffin.
She had a whole muffin. A whole muffin and a whole pickle. And
I mean, I just didn't have. There were times that were lean for me, but.
She thought that was poor.
She said that. Yeah, to her, that there were times that we were so broke, that's all that she had in her lunchbox.
Yeah. Mommy, you only sent me to school a pickle and a
Sending
muffin.
me to Tuscan, I can't even run on the blacktop, and now all I got is a pickle and a muffin.
You be like, my mother sent me to school with some wind pies. I be like, but listen, listen, when I went to school, we had something we used to call it bellyful.
Is this gonna be a joke or something?
No, serious. This is serious.
Your face has this look like it's gonna.
No, a bellyful was made of the leftovers from the bread. You know, like all the leftovers, like when the crumbs in the bread falls, and all the leftovers, and they used to make what they call bellyful, because I mean, it was so heavy that it pulled up your belly real quick. But it's only the poor people would buy it. You know, because you can't afford anything else. So it used to be embarrassing. You go to lunch with your friends, and everybody's like, you know, yeah, let me get a sandwich with some turkey or some beef or something. And here comes Anselm. Can I have a belly full? That's all I could afford.
So the belly full was sold?
Cheaper.
Okay, so this wasn't something that your mom packed.
No. She didn't make it. In the stores, they know that they have to, like, you know, kind of supply the poor people with something. So they made what's called a belly full.
Oh man, and so that sounds so sad and pathetic. Belly full.
Belly full. That's all you could afford. I'm telling you. And the sad thing about it, I didn't even have money to buy juice or water. You
know what? You have brothers, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to them because they might have another story. You know, people in the same family come up with, they're like, we were never poor and this never happened. And you're making this up.
Mm. But you see,
because, you know, if you hear my brother talk, you know, we were just, you know, lived on the wrong side of the tracks and all the rest of that. I mean, and I don't. Everyone's got another story. I'll sit there and listen to two sisters. We were poor. No, we weren't, you know. And
but you see, sometimes people don't remember. I mean, I got some pictures of me running in Trinidad. And the same sneakers. It wasn't the running shoes. The same sneakers I wore to school, I had to run with that sneakers in a race. Let me give you a quick joke.
Oh, God.
One day, I went to run this race for the first time, right? This race was like a 3.1 mile race. So I had on my school sneakers. You know, I warmed up and everything. It was like about 3:30. Sun was blaring. It was very sunny that day. You know, right? So when the race was about to go off, about 5 minutes, I took off my shoes. I was going to run barefoot. So my coach looked at me. He says, "Are you going to run barefooted?" I said, "Yeah." He said, on that hot asphalt? I said, "Coach, I'm accustomed to walking in this asphalt all the time. This is nothing new to me." He said, "You know, Anselm, we can't take that chance." He loaned me his son's running shoes. It was the first time ever that I actually ran in a running shoes. And that was his son's running shoes. And after that, I went back to my regular sneakers, not running shoes. But, you know, back then you just make do. So when we have stories like Marvin McKenzie's story, you know, it's really, it takes me back to coming out of there. And I'm sure, Marjorie, I'm sure you have stories too that of some type of, it may not have been being poor, but it may not have been where you had to face up with some sort of racism.
Oh Oh, yes. Well, I mean, I'm sure I've had to overcome
You know,
some adversity.
right?
Some important.
Adversity, which I may have the poor adversity, but you may have the racism adversity, which could be just as difficult or very depressing, you know, and mentally difficult. I mean, if I didn't get food to eat, I could go somebody yard and steal some fruits or something. I could steal guavas, I could steal mangoes, I could steal some type of fruit, and I could have something to eat.
So I just looked up this word bellyful.
Bellyful?
Yeah.
And what did it say?
A quantity of food sufficient to fill one's stomach, a sustaining meal.
Yeah. So that's what we had, man. I mean, I remember that like yesterday. Hey, Chin, and it used to be a Chinese.
And you called him Chin?
Yeah, we call him Chin. You see, in Trinidad, we didn't believe like in this racism stuff. We call the Chinese Chin.
And what did they call you?
They didn't call us anything. Some of them could barely speak English. It's funny to hear.
You wonder what they were calling you when they got home.
I'm telling you, it's funny to hear a Chinese speak like a Trinidadian who came from China and in Trinidad.
Right, I understand your point.
Be like, hey, I tell you to get out of here. It's kind of funny. It's really funny. But the essence of this story is that this guy, this young man from my hometown is gonna be a big success. And I have sort of been mentoring, like we were discussing which school he should attend, you know, because like there's different schools in England, University of London. You wanted to think, I think it's Warwick University and then Gatwick
But I
University.
thought you said, was this the same person you were telling about? Who's at the University of West Indies, though, right now?
Yeah, he's at the University of
Okay.
West Indies. So he wants to go. I was trying to convince him to come to America,
No, don't tell
to
me
go to
that.
college. He says, "Oh, I don't want to come to America."
After listening to this show, why would anybody want? You might have to deal with Common Core or the Achievement Gap or, cops and I don't know. I wouldn't convince anybody to come to this country, really.
I mean, listen, I'll convince him to go to Yale or Dartmouth or
well, I have a
Princeton.
student who's at Cornell right now. Who's a Trinidadian, actually.
Oh, Trinidadian.
Oh, see, look at how
There
he
you
could.
go. Look at that.
His
You see?
eyes just lit up.
You were trying to hide that from me all the time.
No, she graduated maybe 2 years ago. And we stay in touch. She's trying to raise up money to have at least $2,000 to go to London in a month to study. So she's already at Cornell. This is her third year at Cornell. So if you want to donate to her Facebook page, her name's Trinell Francis. She's also a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
Yeah. She's just a wonderful, wonderful, pleasant person. She really is. So I put a...
Was she was she born here or she was born in
I
Trinidad?
believe she was. Maybe her parents weren't. But she's certainly looking, on GoFundMe. So any of her...
No, you talked about. There's this article that looks at the way police are damaging the psyche of black youths. It's highly infuriating. This is an article in the Atlanta Black Star, and there's an audio. So why don't we take a listen? Because you were telling Marvin he shouldn't come.
the history teacher here, even though that's what my contribution is.